Progressive Congress in Anambra State has protested the dominance of the Chukwuma Soludo-led All Progressive Grand Alliance in the affairs of the President Bola Tinubu-led federal government. The party chairman in the state, Mr. Basil Ejidike, while speaking at the weekend, said the dominance of Soludo in affairs that concern Anambra, even at the federal level, has become a challenge to the state chapter of the APC. He said all appointments coming to Anambra from the federal government had nominees from APGA, while even rice distributed to all states to cushion the effect of hardship had Anambra's share rebagged with the picture of the governor and distributed to only APGA members last Christmas. Appealing to Tinubu, Ejidike said, "Sir, may I seize this opportunity to draw your attention to some challenges confronting the APC in Anambra State that require your kind intervention. The issue of appointments made by the federal government without recourse to the party is inimical to the growth and success of the party in our state, as these appointees do not reckon with the party at the state level, whereby most of those who have made and are still making heavy sacrifices for the party have not been adequately rewarded and appreciated. Many of those who have gotten juicy federal government appointments in the past were mainly non-party members, drawn especially from our rival All Progressive Grand Alliance."
Well, when the enemy slept, men sowed tears. The APC leadership in Anambra State, at some point, they went to sleep. And as they went to sleep, Soludo, APGA, through Bianca Ojukwu, that link to Tinubu. So you look at it today, they are now reaping. Why I say they are reaping? As a party leadership at the state level, what's your contribution to the national? What's your relationship with the national? What impact have you made? Politics is all about results. Show me your result sheet, your report card, and your report card will speak for you. You can't reap where you have not sown. Nobody works for another person to come and eat. So it's very simple. They have not done enough to win the confidence of Mr. President. And you look at it, the governor and his party, they have done enough, and they have won the confidence of Mr. President. So it's left for them now to go back and put their house in order and stop playing the blame game. Blame game doesn't take any person anywhere. And blame game is for somebody who doesn't want to improve, if for somebody who doesn't want to go forward, if for someone who wants to remain comatose, for someone who wants to remain stagnant. So for me, they should go back, put their house in order and work. They're talking about the governor rebagging the federal government rights using APGA and his own picture. I don't know where that is coming from. If he has seen, does he have an evidence to show that this is what was done? Because otherwise they are mere allegation and it dies as allegation. If you have evidences proven that can be tested at any level, bring it on. Let's look at it and take it up from there, because the era of propaganda is gone. And I don't believe in propaganda. I believe in what we can see, verifiable evidences that can stand the test of time. So saying that the governor rebagged APC or Tinubu rice is unfounded. Let him show us evidence. As for appointment coming from APGA and Soludo, it shows that they have not done enough. And in as much as they have not done enough, they should go back home, put their house in order, and hit the ground running. 2027 is around the corner.
Well, interestingly, Anambra State politics appear to be quite different. I mean, the politics in the Southeast appear to be very different from politics in the South. And to a large extent, even in the Southeast, the politics, you know, in different states in Southeast, they are not exactly the same. Let's look at how Anambra is, the makeup of the typical Anambra person. Now, Anambra people, to a large extent, have this, Odumegwu Ojukwu is like a demigod.
Of course, it is.
In Anambra State. And when you call Odumegwu Ojukwu, you call APGA. Now, to a large extent, when you're driving into Anambra State, I think around Obao here, but we're getting close to Anambra State, there is a deep gully, you know, on your right. That was, you know, that gully. That gully was caused by the crater during the Nigerian Civil War. Anambra people particularly Anambra people in Southeast, they've not forgotten.
Of course.
You know, that is way deep. The effect of the civil war runs deeper in Anambra than any other southeastern state, right? Now, to a large extent, opening up to having another party come in, it's a major problem. And it will be like the betrayal of Odumegwu Ojukwu. That's on one hand. Now, the fact that APC is predominantly viewed from the lens of the typical Anambra man, it's a northern party. Now, the fact that APC, is seen as a northern party already puts it at a very great disadvantage. If you doubt me, let's see, during the campaigns, check the previous campaigns in Anambra State. Did APC at any point in time come out to openly hold large campaigns?
They did not.
Yes, because there is no guarantee what the reaction of the people would be. So now, when you look at these issues now on the ground, how do you think APC will make an inroute into Anambra State to a point where they can actually stand as a party that is, one may call, a formidable opposition?
First and foremost, I think what they should do to make an inroute or an inroute into Anambra State is quite simple. Charity begins at home. Mm-hmm. Take it at the chapter level, ward level, constituency level, zonal level in the state and the senatorial district before you talk of the state level. They know what to do. They should go back home and put their house in order. Politics is man talk to man, man understand. So by the time I start like this campaign that the new generation churches do, you see them, they go on house-to-house campaign. They go and bust
house to house.
Of course they go.
That would be very risky.
Of course.
Probably you still do not understand the picture I have painted.
I understand the picture you have painted.
That would be very risky.
Is in the DNA of the Indian Anambra because of that Odumegwu.
Do you know why Labour Party was able to even make an inroute?
Because of the Obi factor.
Because of the Obi. So Labour Party, they are still seeing Labour Party like, okay, to a large extent, it's not necessarily a betrayal because it's still an Igbo thing.
Labour for me.
We need to have that understanding.
Labour.
It's still an Igbo thing. And secondly,
Anambra,
the typical, hold on, yes. The typical Anambra person is their importation, their containers, right? So they don't have that time to sit down and have that conversation with you when their brain is calculating the demurrage and, you know, the containers they're expecting and, you know, the wholesalers, the retailers, and their different shops and all of that. They don't exactly have that time. So now, who are you going to meet to talk about? And you're talking about a wide range of people that are mostly business people and not exactly politicians and don't even understand what you're talking about. The only time they are probably interested is when there is a policy from the government that negatively affects their business. That's when you see them talking about it. And most times they don't even complain too much. They find a way to run around it. Yeah. That's just it. So now how do you talk to people who politically have strong apathy? How do you make an inroute? Wow,
that's a very big task for them. But whether you like it or not, despite the fact that they have a lot of people out there doing it, there are still people at home. Whether you like it or not, there are people at home at the community level, the CDC. You know, this Anambra, they believe so much in the town union. You know, in the Anambra, like I said, they believe so much in this town union thing. Yes. So take it to the town union level. By the time you take it to the town union level, it will make an inroad. That I can tell you categorically, and I can tell you for free that they should take it to the town union. It's still the same town union people that will have to sensitize the business people. They will sensitize those in Lagos. They will sensitize those in diaspora. In fact, this kind of advice I'm giving them, they're supposed to pay me, but I'm giving them for free.
They're supposed to pay you.
They're supposed to pay you because I'm consulting
don't you now think that
APC in Anambra State.
Don't you now think that the cry of the APC in Anambra State is apt? Now, because one would expect, okay, this is APC now is the ruling power, is the ruling party at the federal level. Now, don't you think appointments are coming, trickling down to the state and it's trickling down to APGA?
Because they have not done enough. They have not aligned themselves with the top.
To a large extent.
And if you don't align yourself to the top, there's no connectivity. So it is the person who aligns to the top that gets connected. Even it's in the same family. You can have somebody who is of the same parent with you, but you are not properly...
When you say not aligned to the top, 2027 is coming, and these states will count.
But whether you like it or not,
yes,
the APC leadership in Anambra State,
it's not as strong as it's supposed to be.
It's not as strong, and they didn't do enough for Tinubu during 2023 election. So these are part of what they are reaping because they didn't sow properly. When
you say not doing enough for Tinubu, already the indices are not in their favor. The variables, the die is not even cast in their favor in any way.
They should go back and do their homework.
Now, isn't that where the influence of the national comes in? Isn't that where the influence of the federal comes in? Because now you're looking at mindset shifts of an entire generation. It's deeper than merely coming out to the streets and hitting the road with loudspeaker. They will be pelted with pure water.
It's not about...
Now, it's deeper than that. You're talking of mindset shifts. Now, don't you think probably this is where the federal government, or would I say APC at the national, go out of their way to do some things with the intention of making Anambra people know that our presence should be felt in Anambra State, right? Imagine when appointments come and to some extent, some persons in APC, people will start moving to APC because of what they stand to benefit at the national. People will naturally start tilting towards that party because, it's all about interest. And they feel their interest, that's what politicians say, politics is about interest. Now, when they feel their interest will be protected in the APC, they will naturally tilt towards it. Understanding that the mindset of a typical Anambra man is a mindset is profit-oriented. Now, even if they are investing into politics, in their head, if I may use, I will speak Igbo the way they think and then also, translate in English. You understand? You understand? Like, if I put in money, will it come out?
Of course.
Why would typical Anambra man invest millions in politics when that money can bring 10 containers or 2 containers, or that money will be enough to clear like 2 containers for him, and he will sell, make profit and turnover? Why would he do that? Why would he invest in politics? Now, the question is, are they making it attractive for them to even begin to consider? When the persons, according to what the APC chairman in Anambra State is saying, that even the persons that have so far invested, the federal is not remembering them. So when appointments come, it trickles down. So it means that even at that level, not one person in APC Anambra State has been remembered or even given an appointment. So now, what interest is the national telling them, okay, your interest will be... What interest? Why should people move over to APC, knowing that their interest will not be protected?
Now, let's go back to your question about investment. We have the short-term, medium-term, and the long-term investment. Politics itself is for people who would go for long-term investment and not a short-term investment. If you do short-term investment in politics, there's that point of weariness, because within that waiting period, a lot of them get disappointed, and that's where they start making some very spurious allegations. They make some unfounded statements which gets to the top, and before you know, they are sidelined. So politics is a business, an investment for long-term investment. Going back again to APC Anambra, I said, and I can tell you for free, I'm not unapologetic about it, they didn't do enough in 2023. So they don't have any report to show. And when you don't have any report card to show, what will your principal look at? It's your report card. I can remember the immediate past governor of Rivers State in one of the elections. He told leaders of the world, the only access for you to enter government house is your unit and ward result. So if you have your result, that means you have delivered. If you don't have your result on ground, you have not done any work, and you don't have access So these are part of the things that is...
So it means that APC might as well bid Anambra State goodbye in 2027.
Never can tell. You know, even Labour as a party making an inroad into Anambra State was because of Obi factor and not Labour itself. Obi only used Labour as a vehicle to drive himself. Not today, if Obi again brings any other party to Anambra and they look at it on its merit, they can still work with him if they so desire. But like you said, the average Anambra man, if they are 6 in a family, 3 or 4 are already outside, either Port Harcourt, Lagos, they are hardly in Abuja, or they are outside the country. That's where they do.
You don't even get to see them in government house. I mean, Anambra people in Anambra State, you don't get to see them. Like probably I witness in River State all the time. You see Rivers people in the government house, around the house of politicians. You don't see an Anambra person.
I said for a family,
who will wake up in the morning, bathe and go and sit down in the government house.
It's very rare.
It's not done.
It's very rare.
So now, that's the thing. How do you now, the mindset?
So now, you need to take it back to the town union. Whether I like it or not, the town union in Anambra State is very strong.